Friends, 22nd day of war in Ukraine. Hope of end of war. Side by side continuation of war are continuing. End of war through diplomatic talks where the peace prevails finally. Whether each side or both sides have pressurized due to various reasons or not is to be seen. But as on today, let us see what has developed since yesterday or in last week or so. Putin in his talk, a televised talk, has given a few thought process what Russia has been thinking. Let us see few of them. He has said that fight is for Russian sovereignty. Of course, what he means is that NATO's expansion on Russian border. West is trying to dismantle Russia. Ukraine failed to listen to Russian concerns in the past and which has led to the war. To some extent, he is right. And also he said that West global political and economic dominance is coming to an end. Whether coming to an end or not, but definitely it is tapering down. As far as the other fronts are concerned, on military, this thing I will come little later. I am still talking on the political scenario. Of course, it will be related to the military. NATO War Game was carried out in Norway or continuing, in which 40,000 soldiers participated from 28 of its members. Codenamed Cold Response 2022. Cold Response is, by the way, is the correct name which signifies what US hegemony and NATO want. The cold control over the world population, world natural resources and the market. In the meantime, International Court of Justice has ordered Russia to stop the war immediately in Ukraine. I wish UN and their parts like ICJ would have done this before. The war that has been continuing almost every year on independent countries, on countries who wanted to use their own resources for their own development by the US imperialism and NATO, would not have happened. In the meantime, the pleasure tour of PMs of Poland, Czech Republic and Slovenia to Kyiv is over. Well, these are the basics, few of the things where the economic sanction is further tightening and various forums, world forums, UN and otherwise are hectically talking, discussing, trying to enforce their will, trying to woo someone to stop this war. Military position, coming to this now. Ukraine's counter-offensive in a section of Donbass, Kharkiv, as well as a small front in Ukrainian capital, has fizzled out. Yeah, it was not expected to be much, but they did try. In the meantime, the Russian bombardment shelling in the entire eastern Ukraine, that includes basically Mariupol and even Kyiv, is continuing. It's a massive way it is continuing. They are shelling Kherson, Zaporizhia, the Dnipro, even in western Ukraine, Lviv and part of Mariupol. As far as Mariupol is concerned, it's almost a status quo, it seems, despite Chechen army and DPR militia trying to push their way through. Nonetheless, The evacuation of civilians and children are continuing. That means this is giving an edge to the Russian army to move forward. And they are pinpointing various Ukrainian military targets. Continuing. Vinnytsia is also under shelling, and as far as the Russian military or defense ministry is concerned, what they have said is that despite all these bombings and everything, the position in Mariupol is by and large is same. Nothing much has changed. Well, that is to be seen. The Russian aerospace forces, their participation is increasing along with MLRS users. In the meantime, they have accepted that shelling by Ukrainian military in Kherson has destroyed their 3 Russian helicopters as well as many military vehicles. Ukrainians are not behind. The high and the latest air defense system to Ukrainian army is continuing. Huge amount. How will West be repaid is not known, but the Central Bank of Russia and other things they have seized. They'll be utilizing it. Of course, nothing can be done, and this is a lesson for those countries and individuals whose bank accounts are in Western countries and controlled by UN, IMF, World Bank, etc. You are not safe, friends. You are not safe at all. Well, that is by and large, this is the situation. What is happening internally, what is maturing, which will suddenly show up to us, is yet to be seen. But as far as Russian government is concerned, it should be satisfied that its aim of special military operation is almost complete. Whenever Zelensky, whatever he is shouting for more aids from West, military aids from the West, supply of fighter aeroplanes, whether being given or not, and etc. and other things. But same time he is saying there is a shift in Russian stand as far as Ukrainian demand is concerned, while Russia has also agreed that there is some positive development between the talks. That is yet to be seen. But then whatever the demands or the aims of Russia had been by and large complete. Demilitarization of Ukrainian army is a huge achievement, but so-called denazification, except that Azov battalions and nationalist battalions, the denazification is a political move. So unless the political power is taken of that country by the left organizations, by the left parties, it is not possible. It is world over, it is same. Be it India, be it US, be it European Union, Brazil, Israel, Saudi Arabia. It won't make much difference. Denazification, de-fascism, etc. So friends, that's the end of my talk of the day. I would like to have your inputs if you have anything on the military front, economic or political front, geopolitical situation in Ukraine and surrounding. Do share directly in the group or otherwise. Thank you, friends.